Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts. I'm based here in Seattle, Washington in the United States. And it is Thursday, February 18th, 2021. Goodness, we're almost getting to the last week of February, the second month of this year, almost done. So thank you so much for joining me wherever you are in the world, if you're here in real time or if you're going to be watching this in the future when you have time to do so. I thank you either way. If you're watching it on YouTube, if you could subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Same thing if you're watching it on Facebook, if you could like the page. And if you want to know the latest of what's always coming up, I am Eclectic Arts Media, one word, on Instagram. That's where everything gets posted first. And then I start posting on Facebook, and it just kind of goes from there. And speaking of things coming up before we get to today's interview, tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on the West Coast, I have Juliet Hawkins, who is a wonderful musician and singer-songwriter. And I'm looking forward to talking to her at 6:30. And then on Sunday, the 21st at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I have my first, what I'm calling a music symposium. There's 3 really talented young female artists that I wanted to bring together and kind of shine a light on them. So that's going to be featuring Mariah Belgrade, Sydney Sherwood, and Aviv. There's a slight chance that a 4th guest might be joining us. She's checking her schedule, but the other 3 are definitely confirmed. So I'm looking forward to that. So that should be about a 90-minute chat that we have on Sunday night. And then early on Monday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, the Soap Girls, I reach back, that's my shirt, will be joining me for another installment of our virtual interview series that we've been doing. And they are an amazing band from South Africa that I love, that are fighting the good fight. And so we started doing these interviews back in October. So we've been trying to do one a month before they eventually go back out on the road and do things. And they have their live stream show in about 25 minutes from now. So that's on Monday morning. And then on Tuesday, the 23rd, Nikki Stringfield from the Iron Maidens and Heaven Below and her own work. She's going to be joining me at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. She's an amazing guitar player, has a really strong following, and I'm looking forward to talking to her. It'll be our first time of talking. And then a week from Monday, so March 1st, I've been trying to get this thing together, and it's going to happen, which I'm super excited about. I'm calling it the Director's Chair, where there's going to be, right now, 4 directors, 3 that are international, 1 that's based here locally in the United States, and there might be a 5th one, but for sure there's going to be 4. 1 film director is based in Germany, 1 film director is based in New Zealand, and 1 film director is based in Australia. So you can kind of understand the logistics and the time zones and everything else trying to get this to work, let alone that I have someone locally that's going to be joining us. So we're going to talk shop about films and, trying to work during a pandemic and everything else that they have going on. So that will be, again, on March 1st, and that's going to be at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time because of all the time zone differences. For example, in Australia and New Zealand, it'll actually be Tuesday for them. And then in Germany, it'll be like late. I think it's going to be like 10 p.m. for my guests there. So that's going to be on March 1st. And who knows, there could be things that happen in between. There's always things happening in my inbox. So again, if you stay tuned to Eclectic Arts Media on Instagram, that's where everything gets posted first. But let's get to today's guest because I'm really excited to talk to him, and he's got an amazing background and amazing talent. So my guest today is a longtime international musician. He just released his newest single in 3 different languages. If you watched the intro, you just saw clips from each of the versions. Please welcome to the Eclectic Arts Virtual Studio, NesKoH.
Mark, do you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
Great. And you?
I'm doing really well, sir. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks. Thanks. And I have to say that you have a really cool intro. What's this song?
I think it's something by this guy who came from Bosnia and then Germany and then lives in France, something like that.
It's a European man, you know.
Well, this is going to be fun. So let's actually just jump right into the single that was played in the video, and what's the story behind the song and the lyrics, and choosing to do it in 3 languages.
This song, I started to compose it last year in March. At the moment when we had to stay at home, we were all in France. Everything was closed. We were in our rooms, in our flats. So I asked myself, what have we done to the world, to the planet? What comes next? Can we save anything? Can we change anything? Can people change? And I started to I find the title. I found the title "Sweet Thirst," like people who who always want to eat too much, to drink too much. There's never enough for people, for human beings. So it's a really social, engaged song. In the chorus, I sing, I go away and I won't never come back. So I would leave this planet in the moment. I don't know if the COVID-19 if it changed some things. I hope so, that people began to think about it, about life, about behavior, attitude, and animals. Everything is in it, in this song. But it's not the sense it's not really clear at first. You have to think about some words. Their sense is a little bit hidden in the song, so you have to read and to listen to the lyrics a bit with more attention, I like playing with words. I don't like to write something directly. I try to make. I would like to change the people's mind and how they see the world, how they act, and when they read my lyrics, I would like to that they think about it and not just understand on the first, not immediately. So this song is like many songs that I write. I don't write love songs generally. I always try to get some message, to positive message, or something that could maybe change the world. If we have this power as musicians and this possibility, so I try to send some positive inputs or messages. So maybe I can change 1 or 2 persons. It's very, very hard to change the planet, but we have to start from myself. So I asked myself at first what I'm doing. Is that okay? how we are living, how we do we pay attention to little things, or just do we have to always have more and more, you know? And I think in last year the planet said no, stop, you know, stop, and I hope that there are many people who began to think about our behavior.
Okay, that's really interesting, and I think as I've talked with other guests, yeah, the last year has made people really start to reevaluate things in their life. It could be also on a much broader scale if we're talking about Mother Nature and the Earth, to personal things about spending time with their family or their friends, and kind of getting rid of the negative things that they were hanging on to pre-pandemic. One thing I'm just kind of curious about when you're talking about, you know, looking at yourself and always trying to have a message in your music and trying to be socially aware. Has that been something that's been there for your entire musical career, or did it just kind of start getting more focused in recent years in terms of that message?
No, I started with my when I was living in Germany. I started with I was 16. I met two boys in my school, and we started to play music as a punk band, and this punk band called Laminius X. It was like my therapy, you know. It's at first I sang about things I lived. So we can talk maybe later about my past, about war in Bosnia, and it was like therapy. And you know, when you make music, you can't always talk about the same things. No, because of other people, because of you. You have to you try to always to create something new. And so with the band, we always in 2000 2000 we started to play seriously. We made the first EP. We were 20, yeah, and you know, when you are young, you want to change the world, and you think that it's possible. So, but we were like a punk band, very direct, you know, and I think people don't like when you say things when everything is open, like and clear, like a book, you know. And for people it's uncomfortable, and but it was our style, you know. It's a punk style. You can't like Sex Pistols. You can't sing some nice things. It's not in a style, and it's not in punk music. It's you have to be honest. You have to be you don't have to be afraid from what the people will think. So this engagement and this messages were always in myself. So but today I try. You change when you are 20, or when you are 30 or 40. You change. That's normal. People change, and you think you get smarter. Yeah, but I try to you know, it's like a present. When you can give a present without any paper, you know, it's open, and you see anything, you see everything. And now when I'm a bit older, I take the present message, and I put it in nice paper, you know. So you have to open it easily to look. What's that? And you discover easily things. And if you think about it, if you take a look seriously, you get the message, and you like this hidden thing, you know. I think it was always in me. I never I think there are a lot of people that are able to create love songs, you know. For me, pop music, and you can write a really nice love songs. Even in the love songs, I have sometimes double sense, you know, hidden sense. So people that know me can recognize the sense, but people that don't know me, they just hear or see these love words, you know. But I always try to hide something in it, you know, in lyrics.
Okay. Yeah. I love that kind of thing when it's something where you can listen to it several times through, and kind of listen and look into those lyrics and get something out of it, instead of it being like listen to it once and then be done with it. I'd rather listen to it multiple times and get something new every time I listen to it.
I think it's like persons, you know. It's like a kind of mystery. People that don't hide anything about 2 days, if you know everything about them, they are not interesting anymore. But people that hide something and tell you about a bit later, when they know you a bit better, so there's kind of secrets and mystery. So they are mysterious, and you want to know more and more about this person. I think it's the same thing. Musicians shouldn't show everything, you know, show everything clearly. I think it's I love musicians that hide, like Rammstein, you know, German band Rammstein. They are always hiding something. It's you have really to speak German to understand the real sense. You can't when you begin to translate this the lyrics. It's not the same. It's not the same thing. So I think the music is like people. We shouldn't give everything at the first, you know, on the first.
Yeah, that makes sense, because it becomes like you said, a mystery that helps develop an aura around the band and the music, and you kind of the further you stay with the band, then you start peeling away layers and you start to get to understand them a little bit better. But if it's just all thrown at you at once, then it's kind of like, well, yeah, there's anything really interesting past that initial, you know, listening to or even watching of a band these days. So that makes a lot of sense. And I'm curious about, as I'm looking in your, it looks like a home studio setup that you have there. Did you record everything at home for this single that you did?
Yeah, you know, with my it's NesKoH. It's kind of solo project I started 3 years ago. It's a really young project, and I wanted to make everything different from my band. With my band, German band, we sang in German most of the time, in English also. Bad English, but in English. And I always composed Bosnian songs, but I never get the chance to publish them, and there was no moment for them. You know, they was hidden in on my desk, and I had about 20-30 songs, but there was no time to publish them. There was no real chance. So we about after 25 years with the band, Le Minus X, we make a little break to get some new inspiration. and it was 3 years ago. And now 3 years ago, I said to myself, I have to get out the songs. And yes, I make almost everything in my studio. No, that's very different from my band when we were in very, very expensive studios in Germany, in Italy. It was a really, really huge project. I try to make almost everything myself except drums and some additional musicians like saxophones and trumpets that I don't play. And it's a chance for me to collaborate with very, very interesting people. You know, today technology has some advantages, so we can send the files over to, for example, on a Sweet Thirst, the musician who Anatoly that played all brass is from Russia. The drummer Chris is from England. The bass player, it's my friend Alex. He was playing here in my studio. All the guitars and vocals are made in the studio, home studio, and it's like an international project, but 70-80% are produced in this room, you know, and mixing and master, I don't know. I'm not able to do it, so I send it in professional studios in Italy, Germany, or Croatia. But it's a chance to cooperate with very, very nice people, to meet incredible professionals, and it's really for me a chance to get an international touch, and to get it more and more interesting, you know.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And like you mentioned, that technology has its advantages, that you can work with people and not even be in the same room with them because of technology. And it kind of brings up the point of how we kind of got connected through your the guest starring part with Emma from Serenia. And I'm just kind of curious, how did you meet with her, and how did you get her involved with your music?
That was an incredible story, because we have a common friend, and about a couple of months, this person was telling to her and to me, "Oh, Emma, you have to meet NesKoH. Oh, NesKoH, you have to meet Emma." And I said, "Okay." We try to meet, and we try to talk at first, and you know, there are some connections. They are beginning immediately. So with Emma, it's a really very, very beautiful person, and it worked at first time. We talked each other. We understood that we could work together, and that it would be interesting to work together. So I had the idea to create a Bosnian English duet, and I think that's really special, because I don't know many Bosnian musicians that mix that two languages. But I wanted to get sounded like one language. You know, when you're listening, it shouldn't be shocking. And when you listen to the song "Kraj nije kraj," it's like one universal language you're listening. I think the melodies and everything makes that you can appreciate it. So I told to Emma, in 2 days I had a general idea about melody, about what should we do. It's really in punk style, and I wanted to make some kind of fusion between punk and her style. So we have two personalities. I'm in the soul, I'm punk, and she's gothic. So gothics and metal. So it was very, very interesting to find some way to get these characters together in one song. So I sent the demo to Emma, and she loved it. She told me we have to publish it. So we work about 2 months on the song, and I think it sounds really, really, really good, and I'm very happy about the results and about sometimes you create some songs, and from the first moment you know that it should work with elements you have found. So with Emma, it was clear from the first moment, from the first second, it would be it would get a great song. And 1 year later, we decided to make one other version with some other challenge, with accordion, with some acoustic version, and it was beautiful. When we made the video clip for this song, it was a really, really nice friendship ambience, yeah, and it was really, really a great time. And I'm sure that we will work together on some other stuff. She showed me some of her songs, and we just need 2 lives. That's the only problem. We need time, but I'm sure that we will work together because we are friends now, and if there's another opportunity, we will catch it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome to look forward to, because it definitely works really well together. And I particularly love the acoustic version of the song, and there's a nice, like you said, ambiance. There's a nice vibe to it. You can tell that you guys are friends, and so you're only going to get better with new things that you work on. So I'm really looking forward to future collaborations that you do with not only with her, but anyone else that you choose.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if you have seen my duet with a great person. It's a bluesman, Tosho. It's a guitar player from Germany, and it was my first duet. I was playing 2 years ago on festival against racism, and he was there with his band Blues Company. He's about 70. He's very experienced. I can say that there is an old man, because he will kill me. But and I call the song "Forever Young." That was my first duet. Almost at the same time with Emma. So it was creating in the same time these two songs. And Tosho, it's a real great person from a very, very famous band in Germany. So I learn a lot from Emma, from Tosho, and from these persons. They are beautiful and professional.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's awesome that you've been collaborating with other professionals and other artists, and creating new avenues of art for your own music. And just so that people out there know, and also even for my own benefit, you did tell me pre-show about being raised in Bosnia and then moving to Germany and then some other kind of other countries. Can you kind of speak to your background and what eventually brought you to France?
I left Bosnia in '92 when I was 12. So you surely heard about the planet is talking about civil war that was in Bosnia, and we have to move out from Sarajevo, from our town. We get to Germany, to Osnabrück. It's above Cologne and Bremen. You know, it's in the north. And I was there in high school, and I began my music studies in Bremen. It's great music university. But you know, the north of Germany, it's really specific. So I think that you have to be born in north and in this kind of region to be happy and to that you can live. When I finished my high school and I began university, I felt that I'm not very happy there. So I sent all my documents to the university in Aix-en-Provence. It's in the south. It's about 20 kilometers from Marseille. And I just continued music lessons and music studies in France. I didn't plan to stay 15 or almost 20 years here. But you know, when you get older, you have friends, you have everything you need. Even if I would like to go somewhere else, I told you that sometimes when I see what's around me, I would like to change the planet and to go far away from these countries, sometimes from human beings. And so I stayed here, and now I have some very interesting music projects. But I'm going very often to Sarajevo because there is my label, Hayat Production, and there is all my family. So I'm very often in Bosnia now with the pandemic situation. It's a bit complicated, but it's a really beautiful country, Bosnia. You know, and a small country, but very difficult political situation with 3 presidents. So separated regions, and very it's a very pity because it's a beautiful country. There's beautiful people. I hope someday the situation there will be much better. So maybe someday I will back in Bosnia. You know, I don't know. I'm listening to the music, and I think that music was like a guide. And music shown me the way. I came to France because of music. I will leave France maybe because of music, surely. But I think the music will always be most important thing for me and help me to make some important decisions.
Okay, so it sounds like music has been guiding your path, and it's going to continue guiding your path in the future. And that actually brings us to a good point to kind of wrap things up. What can we expect in the future in terms of music from NesKoH and any other thing that you have your hand in?
There are some things that I'm working on. I will, with my solo project NesKoH, I get out already 2 albums, solo albums, and 11 singles. And for each single, I have made a video and the complete production. So there are 2 singles that I have to publish in April, May, and in September I will get the album with all these singles, a kind of compilation, yeah. And we have already make a third album with Luminous X. It's mastered, mixed, and we just have to decide. You know, when you get a band album, you have to absolutely to make gigs and to play gigs, to make many concerts. So now the situation doesn't allow to play any concert, so we have to wait. And I'm working on one project about 2 years now with my French friends. It's called NesKoH Acoustic, and we take all my songs, all my rock songs, and make an acoustic arrangements. You know, so we already played 2 concerts. It's like a poetical. We called it poetical concert because we have a narrator that explains the story on French, in French, and all of my songs are in Bosnian. So there's really like a kind of musical. So you have a story with this Bosnian music. And these are projects that I would like to develop and to play in the whole world. But I will continue to work with great people for my solo project. It's really a real possibility to meet some good people, some. You know, when you are the same level, you have to, you can talk to people, you can learn from people, and I love that. I love this kind of exchange, intellectual exchange, and so in September, 1 album from my solo project, and maybe in next year the album with Luminous X. We will see.
Awesome. That's great that you have so many things going on, and so for people that are fans, they're going to be able to get some music either from your solo project, and like you just said, perhaps next year from Luminous X, you'll get some music from there. And I'm probably guessing in between, you're still probably going to come up with some other things. So sounds like you're a hardworking man.
Yeah. I think it's kind of sickness. you can't stop. You can't stop. It's really like a drug. You have to share with other people. And honestly, when you see in your intro your music playing by a guy in United States or in the TV, it's really a very, very special feeling. So thank you. Every time I see my songs on the television or hear it listen it on the radio, it's a really, really great feeling. So when I know that they are played and the song with Emma or anything, when I know that there are people waiting for some songs and they appreciate my or our work, that gives me a special power to and energy to go on and to create.
Yeah, well, no, thank you so much for making the music and for taking the time. And this has been fascinating learning more about you. I know I'm going to be probably doing some deep diving after this interview into more of your music, into the background, because I want to find out more about this. That's the kind of person I am. And I have a feeling that if it's okay with you, that we might end up doing a second part of this interview once I find out some more information about you, and especially, particularly about your the other projects that you've been working on. So, but yeah, thank you so much for taking the time tonight over there, and I hope to see you sooner than later. And yeah, if we get a part 2 together, I will definitely reach out to you.
Thank you very much, Mark. See you next time, very, very soon.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye. Thank you.